everyone, welcome to Let's Globe with DotDotNews, a series that connects young people from all around the world. I'm Alris from Hong Kong and I'll be the moderator for today. Food is not only a necessity for everyone, but also pretty much everyone's favorite. So I thought, why not start the series with food? Today we're very honored to have guests literally from all around the world. We have Charles from America, who is born and raised there. Then we have Autumn, he's a Russian Canadian. Lastly, we have Lynn, who is a Vietnamese living in Germany since 4 years old. Let me start by asking you all, how are you? I know Lynn is doing her master and Charles and Autumn are already working. Have you guys started going back to offices or school already?
Hi, good morning from Germany. Thanks for having me. I'm Lynn, I'm 24 and I am studying my MBAs in Germany. And I've been doing that mostly at home for the past, I think, 2 months. My university has switched to 100% online classes, which has worked quite well most of the time. I'm doing all the classes online, and it's okay. Like I do miss going back to university and seeing other people, but of course that's not possible right now.
Right. Thank you. What about Charles? How's your work?
It's been different working from home. So I made the switch about 3 months ago in March. So shortly after in the U.S. they started rolling out a lot of the kind of federal protocols. The city that I'm based in here in St. Louis, Missouri, the mayor basically mandated a city lockdown. So our office was closed and we were all sent home. And so I've been working. I have turned my dining room table into an office, into a desk space, and it's worked really well. I've kind of have learned to enjoy the flexibility and enjoy being able to get out of the house a little bit more. And I have 2 dogs at home, so I get to see them a lot more than I used to when I had to go to the office for work. So I'm adjusting pretty well, but I do miss everybody, and kind of hope we can get back to somewhat of normal here in a little bit. And another big part of my job that I do miss is traveling. I travel quite a bit, usually about once a month, usually around the United States. I was actually supposed to go to Singapore in February, but had to cancel the trip due to COVID. So I'm certainly excited to get back on the road once things start to improve.
Yeah, but good to know that you're adjusting well. Speaking of traveling, Autumn, we all travel quite a lot. How are you adjusting to it?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Transitioning to work, I've been working up until just a few months ago. Interesting enough, I made the decision to head back to school. So I'm studying for the LSAT, and I'm going to be going to get my JD coming next year. So I stopped working about 3 months ago. I've been studying, reading a lot of books, really focusing on myself, and I'll start working again after I write it. But for the current time, it's me and my solitude and a couple of books.
Nice, everything worked out for you as well. Charles, you mentioned about a city lockdown, right? I'm interested to know what are the government other rules that they implemented because of the pandemic related to food especially. For example, do you know that in Hong Kong we had a gathering ban? So it's actually quite interesting. We have a ban for no gatherings more than 4 people originally, and then it relaxed to no more than 8, and I think now it's like no more than 50. So it's pretty relaxed in Hong Kong as well. So yeah, let's start with you in the US. Is there any particular regulations related to food?
Yeah, so in the US, it's at the federal government level, there's been no guidance because a lot of stuff is run more at the state level here in the United States, and then even at the city level. And so the city that I'm in here in St. Louis, they ended up banning gatherings of no more than 10 people. And then actually I think at one point, if I remember correctly, they went so far as to say basically no gatherings with anybody outside of your own home or your immediate family, or your kind of immediate family. So maybe, your mother, grandparents, if you have to take care of them, things like that. So it got pretty serious here. On the food side, they closed all restaurants and bars probably for 60 days, if I remember correctly. Somewhere between 60 and 80 days, they closed all the restaurants here in the city. And so that made it really hard on a lot of them. However, about, I'd say, halfway through those 60 days, they allowed them to start doing takeout. So people were able to call ahead and do takeout orders. Now they have recently, in the last 3 weeks or so, opened up some of the restaurants, but only with 25% of their indoor seating capacity. They're only allowed to have paper menus. You must throw the menu away after you use it. And then also with utensils, they're only allowed to use one-use utensils. And then with drinks, you can only use one glass at a time. So whereas I think kind of the way before was they may come and refill your water, or you can go up to the soda fountain and refill your own drink. You have to get a new glass every single time.
Right. So they're relaxing right now, but what about the citizens there? Are they relaxed? Are they eager to go out, or even though the regulations are relaxed, everyone's still staying at home?
It's a little bit of both. There's certainly a decent group of people who are willing to go out. They've been out and about. I live in a very vibrant neighborhood that's got a lot of bars and restaurants and has a lot of nightlife. And I have noticed the pick back up where during the lockdown on the weekends, there was no cars parked on the streets down here, nobody in the bars. And now in the last 3 weeks, it started to get back to a little bit more normal on the weekends. However, I still know a decent amount of people who don't go out and spend a majority of their time in their house.
It's always good to see people getting lively again. Let's go to your neighbor, Canada. How's things in Canada? What do they do there?
It's more or less the same here. We have very few restaurants that are currently open, and they're doing only like patio or minimal capacity, so like 20 to 30. Like I think it's 25 almost everywhere. But people are excited to go back out, right? We've seen some questionable gatherings. People are containing themselves a little bit better than they did a few weeks ago, but yeah, I think everyone's tired of being at home.
Is the state really strict on the regulations? Like if people see gatherings more than like 25%, or if they get caught, what will happen? Will they be charged or?
Restaurants, they're under a lot of scrutiny. So yeah. I mean, you're forced to close if you can't obey, and they are pretty vigilant on checking you up to make sure everyone's following along.
Yeah, I think that's necessary. Since we can't travel, let's pretend that we're in Germany right now. Lynn?
Yeah, in Germany, it's actually pretty similar to the US and Canada also. Like we had a gathering ban in the beginning where you were only allowed to, I think, meet up with another person, like one other person. And now they've relaxed it first to up to 2 households. And then from last week, I think it's up to 10 people now. And also, like, the restaurants are open again. They were also closed in the beginning. They're open again with some regulations. But I think it's not that strict here, or at least the people don't follow along that strictly. And also the controls aren't that strict. I see that a lot of people are going outside again. Like a lot of people in Germany think that the coronavirus is over, the pandemic is over, and they started to go out again a lot. Also, I live in a very busy city and with a lot of people, so that adds to it, kind of.
Totally understandable, because food and eating is such a huge role in socializing. We do that every day. Whenever we meet up with friends, we eat. So not being able to gather physically with your friends, has that had any effect on you personally? Like, are you doing any creative things with your friends, like Skyping every day, or does it affect your life? Charles?
Yeah, it's certainly been an impact. I'm definitely a very social person. I love going out and interacting with people, and so it's been really hard. I have done a lot of FaceTiming with my family, with my friends. It's just not the same. I have, thankfully been able to have friends over in very small numbers. So I've been able to still get some of that kind of outside of the household interaction that I really value. But it certainly changed things. I've done. It's
the new normal, so we say. Let me add on top of that question is that share if you have any funny stories about food, because for example in Hong Kong, very early in the beginning, not right now, that there are rumors everywhere that we are running out of rice or running out of any oil. Pretty much any rumors will cause people rushing to the supermarket and snatching everything. So did the same thing happen, or just share any funny stories that you have?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny how you don't really realize how important certain ingredients or like cuisines are in your life until they're not available anymore. So for us, we're having a chicken shortage, and it's not like chicken in general, it's chicken thighs. I had no idea this would ever be a problem in my life until COVID came around, because I've been trying to like create Greek-style shish kebabs, and it hasn't been working out, so I had to start improvising. But it really makes you think, because I mean, there's certain things you can't really make at home. Either you don't have the ingredients or the skills.
Why is it chicken thigh though? Like, did any news say that, oh, eating chicken thigh can heal COVID-19 or something like that?
Oh no, it's just people buy everything out. So a lot of our food is imported. Chicken, not as much as other things, but like certain fruits, some of our grains, we physically don't grow enough. Our climate doesn't really allow for it. So once those imports started coming in, people bought the rest and just like froze it, or, you know, hoarded their fridges. So shortage. But it is what it is, right?
What about Lynn?
Well, funny enough, Germany had a toilet paper shortage. Apparently, I don't know, apparently people think toilet paper is the #1 essential to have in a pandemic.
Or any funny stories related to food specifically?
I've been cooking a lot recently, a lot more than I would usually do. And also I find that I've cooked more healthily, like more healthy food than I usually would do. Yeah, but you don't really have a choice, because the restaurants are closed, and in the beginning, my boyfriend and I, we didn't even order any takeouts, because we weren't really sure about like the regulations there, like the hygiene regulations, and how strictly the restaurants actually follow them. So we wanted to play safe and like just cook at home and not going to restaurants or ordering anything.
Thank you you all for sharing your experience. I really genuinely really look forward to meeting up with you all in person, like face to face. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Take care, Alris.
Take care, you too. Let's text. See you all next time at Let's Globe episode 2. Take care and goodbye.